take this description of this incident from the report that I wrote at the time to Professor Stoll. Last Friday, April 16, I was forced to interrupt my work in the laboratory in the middle of the afternoon and proceed home as I was seized by a peculiar restlessness combined with a slight dizziness. At home, I lay down and sank into not unpleasant, intoxicated-like condition that was characterized by an extremely stimulated imagination. In a dreamlike state, with eyes closed, I found the daylight to be unpleasantly glaring. An uninterrupted stream of fantastic pictures of extraordinary plasticity with intense kaleidoscopic-like play of colors surged in upon me. After some 2 hours, this condition faded away. The nature and cause of this peculiar experience aroused the suspicion that it resulted from an external toxic influence, and I surmised the connection with the substance with which I had just worked, namely with lysergic acid diethylamide tartrate. However, I could not imagine how I could have absorbed some of this material, since I was accustomed, because of the known toxicity of ergot substances, to meticulously neat work. But possibly a bit of the LSD solution had contacted my fingertips during recrystallization, and a trace of the substance could have come to be absorbed through the skin. In the event that LSD-25 had been the cause of the described incident, then it would have to be a substance of extraordinary potency. With the objective of getting to the bottom of this, I decided to carry out a self-experiment. In order to be cautious, I began the experiment with the smallest quantity with which a definite effect could just barely be expected, namely with 0.25 milligram lysergic acid diethylamide tartrate. The following is a description of this experiment from a laboratory notebook. April 19th. Preparation of a 0.05% aqueous solution of lysergic acid diethylamide tartrate. 5 milligram of air-dried crystalline tartrate was dissolved in 10 cc of water. At 1620, 0.5 cc of the solution containing 0.25 milligram tartrate was taken orally. The solution was completely tasteless, like pure water. At 1650, still no trace of any effect. At 17, slight dizziness, restlessness, unable to concentrate, thoughts, visual distortions, desire to laugh. Here's a note in my laboratory journal, C's. The last words could be written down only with great effort. It was now already clear to me that LSD had been the cause of the remarkable experience of the previous Friday, for all the perceptions were of the same type as before, only much more intense. Only with the greatest difficulty could I still speak intelligibly. I asked my laboratory assistant, who was informed of the self-experiment, to escort me home. On the way home by bicycle, an automobile was not available at the moment. During wartime, automobiles were available only to privileged people in Switzerland. During riding home, my condition began to assume threatening forms. Everything in my field of vision wavered and was distorted as if seen in a curved mirror. I also had the sensation of being unable to move from the spot. Nevertheless, my assistant later told me that we had traveled very rapidly. Finally, however, we arrived at home still safe and sound, and I was just still capable of asking my companion to summon our family doctor and to ask for milk from the neighbor. In spite of my delirious, bewildered condition, I could think clearly and effectively for brief periods. I thought of milk as a non-specific antidote for poisoning. The dizziness and sensation of fainting became so strong at times that I could no longer hold myself erect and had to lay down on the sofa. My surroundings was now transformed themselves in more terrifying ways. Everything in the room spun around, and the familiar objects and pieces of furniture assumed grotesque, mostly threatening forms. They were in continuous motion, animated, as if impregnated by life, by an inner restlessness. The neighbor woman who brought the milk I scarcely recognized any longer. She was no longer Mrs. R., but a rather malevolent, insidious witch with a colored mask. Even worse than these demonic transformations of the outer world were the alterations that I perceived in myself, in my inner being. Every exertion of my will to put an end to the disintegration of the outer world and the dissolution of my ego seemed to be wasted effort. A demon had invaded my being, had taken possession of my mind, body and soul. I jumped up and screamed in order to free myself from him, but then sank down again, powerless on the sofa. The substance with which I had wanted to experiment had vanquished me. It was the demon that scornfully triumphed over my will. A dreadful fear grasped me that I was becoming insane. I was taken to another world, another place, another time. My body seemed to be without sensation, lifeless, strange. Was I dying? Was this a transition? At times I believed myself to be outside of my body and then perceived clearly as an outside observer the complete tragedy of my situation. I had not even taken leave of my family. My wife had traveled that day to visit her parents in Lucerne with our 3 children. Would they ever understand that I had not experimented thoughtlessly, irresponsibly, but rather with utmost caution, and that such a result was in no way foreseeable? My fear and despair intensified not only because a young family should lose its father prematurely, but also because I thought of having to break off unfinished my work as a research chemist, which I meant so much for me. In the midst of fruitful, promising development, also reflection emerged, full of acrimonious irony, that I was to be compelled now to leave this world behind prematurely through the effort of lysergic acetylsalicylate that I had brought forth into this world. As the doctor arrived, the climax of my despairing condition had already passed. My laboratory assistant informed him about my self-experiment, as I myself was not yet able to formulate coherent sentences. He perplexedly shook his head after I had attempted to refer to my supposed mortally threatened bodily condition, for he could ascertain no normal symptoms other than an extremely dilated pupils. Pulse, blood pressure, and breathing were normal. He therefore prescribed me medicaments. He conveyed me to my bedroom and watched over me on my bed. Slowly again I returned from a weird, unfamiliar world to familiar, everyday reality. The horror softened and gave way to a feeling of fortune and gratitude. Some more normal perceptions and thoughts returned, and my assurance increased that the danger of insanity had conclusively passed, that I would come again to life, because I had really did not know if it ever would end, if it was the end. Now I gradually began to enjoy the unprecedented colors and blaze of shapes that persisted behind my closed eyes. Kaleidoscopic-like, fantastic images surged in on me, alternating, variegated, opening, and then closing themselves in circles and spirals, exploding in colored fountains, rearranging, hybridizing themselves in constant flux. It was particularly remarkable how every acoustic perception, such as the sound of a door handle or a passing automobile, became transformed into optical perceptions. Every sound generated a vividly changing image corresponding in form and color. Late in the evening, my wife returned from Lucerne. Somebody had informed her by telephone that I had sustained a mysterious breakdown. Leaving the children behind with her parents, she had traveled home forthwith. I had by now already recovered myself sufficiently that I could relate what had happened. Exhausted, I then slept and woke the next morning refreshed, with a clear head, even though still somewhat tired physically. A sensation of well-being and renewed life flowed through me. Breakfast tasted delicious and was an extraordinary pleasure. When I later walked out into the garden in which the sun now shone after a spring rain, everything glistened and sparkled in fresh light. The world was as if newly created.